You found the WMIX Saturday Sports Show on AM 940 and WMIXsports.com. Cared for by Crossroads Community Hospital. The Saturday Sports Show has been recognized by the Illinois Broadcasters Association as one of the top radio programs in the state. That means the very best mix of local sports content is right here. From the powerhouse on Broadway, the Saturday Sports Show starts now.
Welcome back. Well, actually, not welcome back. We're welcoming you into the Saturday Sports Show on WMIX and WMIXsports.com. I'm only about a little bit of the way through that, DC. I know what you're thinking. That's Andy Zawinski. I'm Chris Hugo.
What in the world?
Well, today kind of started out weirdly here at the Powerhouse. Had some issues. Not equipment show, anything like that. Just some things that weirdly happened this morning. And
there's all kinds of things weirdly happening today.
Well, you'd think it was a full moon along with some of the rains and storms that came through yesterday. Not the case. I'm kind of off my kelter. Some of our others are kind of off kelter a little bit. With that. So it's been a resty morning so far around the Powerhouse, but we like it that way. I wouldn't have it any other way. Of course, Saturday Sports Show is cared for by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital.
It's what healthcare should be.
So there we go. A little bit of normalcy back in the program for you today, back in the structure here at the Powerhouse on Broadway. So glad you can be with us this morning. We're here until 8:50-ish. And by 8:50-ish, of course, proud to bring you Lady Rams softball today from the Triad Invitational Tournament. Lady Rams will have Civic Memorial at 9, first pitch. If they win that, they go on to a 12:30 matchup versus the winner of, or actually they get the loser of the Glenwood-Belleville West game. So there you go, Lady Rams. Look to see if they can go on and get a fifth-place trophy today from the Triad Invitational. Unfortunately, unable to catch up with Lance Bolt this morning because of the early start. Of course, they will be practicing and taking infield and going over things with the outfield. Things of that nature, so unable to catch up Lance Bolt. We will have Tim Holloway. We'll talk Mount Vernon Rams baseball. Since we last talked to Tim, Rams have been to Busch Stadium, Rams have been to SIU, Rams have played Carbondale, Rams have played Cahokia. So it's been a busy time for Mount Vernon Rams baseball. We'll talk about that. Even more so, we'll talk about the Ram Relay champion Mount Vernon Running Rams track and field with Clint Turner. So we'll have Clint, we'll have Tim. We'll talk all things Mount Vernon, of course, here on the Saturday Sports Show today. We'll also run down your 1A and 2A boys baseball and girls softball postseason pairings today, all coming up on your Saturday Sports Show. And as we took a look at some of the seeds, early on, the only surprise seed I think I noticed, and I'm not delving into the topic just yet. We'll have plenty of time to talk about that after we talk with Tim Holloway. But we talked about it during one of the games this week, Danny, about how Altoff, who's in 2A again, given the multiplier waiver, is a 3 seed. So it's possible the South 7 Conference champion will be a 3 seed in a regional in Class 2A behind Nashville and Freeburg. And I know we talked about that already this week. How insane is that to think about, that a possible conference champ in a 3A conference could be a 3 seed in a 2A conference regional behind powerful Nashville and a pretty good Freeburg team.
Well, Nashville beat Altoff, so that eliminated that. And when you look at all the other schools, again, this is the way the system's going to be. And I'm not sure if Altoff has played Freeburg. They probably have. But if Freeburg did beat Altoff, that's the way the seeds are. If they didn't, then you got to wonder what went on behind the keyboard. And as long as everybody's punching from the keyboard and nobody has to meet each other, that's the way it's going to be. But then again, Altoff was highly thought of last year, stubbed their toe in the regional. 2 years ago, stubbed their toe in the same setting. So, Altoff's good. We like Altoff, but my gosh, they got to do something. And some people may be thinking about that too, but they have to be, Nashville Altoff on Saturday, May 24th, 11 a.m. at the Nashville Regional may just be a must-watch. Family gathering of coaches and friends and teams, and if you can win that regional and get out, then you look at, they play the winner of the Benton Regional, and I'll be real honest, that's not a strong regional. Technically, if the winner of that Nashville Regional could get out and could actually be the favorite to get to Sauget Super, because Carterville Regional is okay. There's not a lot of world beaters in that one either this year. There you go. I mean, that's it. The winner of that regional could very well be at GCS.
Of course, we'll explain our thoughts on those regionals a little bit later on here on the Saturday Sports Show. We have a few extended breaks today. Of course, a shortened program for you today. 8:50 is our alleged quit time, as we'll have Lady Rams pregame coming up with Chad Baker here on AM 940 and WMIXSports.com momentarily. The Mount Vernon Lady Rams have the Civic Memorial Lady Eagles in the Triad Tournament at 9 o'clock. That'll be your pregame here on WMIX. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk Mount Vernon Rams baseball with Coach Tim Holloway. We'll talk about the week that was. Busch Stadium, Itchy Jones Stadium, Carbondale again, and then Cahokia at home for Mount Vernon Rams baseball. This is a Saturday Sports Show cared for by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than hospital.
It's what healthcare should be.
Back after these.
The health of your kidneys has a big impact on your overall health, affecting everything from your blood pressure to your bones. And if you ever have a kidney problem, Dr. Kangura is here to help. Dr. Kangura trained at the Mayo Clinic and specializes in conditions ranging from kidney stones and uncontrolled high blood pressure to chronic kidney disease. Dr. Kangura sees patients at Crossroads Specialty Clinic. For an appointment, call 618-241-9071.
Learn to live healthy, learn to live well, and learn how you can live free from unexpected medical expense with a major medical expense policy from Pekin Insurance and the Page Agency. Health insurance that covers hospital, medical, and surgical expenses offers a wide choice of deductibles and a non-tobacco user discount too. Rising medical costs don't have to be a problem with a major medical expense policy from Pekin Insurance. This is coverage we hope you'll never need, but you just can't be without. Call the Page Agency at 242-7000 about a major medical health insurance plan today.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank. By now you have heard about our new One Checking product. The new One Account is a high interest earning, free checking account designed for everyone. Unlike other banks that pay interest on higher balance, this account pays interest on all balances. From high schoolers to Warren Buffett, One will work for you. You can talk to one of us at 244-3000 and learn about the details. One, exclusively at Community First Bank. You will be one happy customer. Member FDIC.
Here's Jeff Schmidt for Schmidt Chevrolet Cadillac of Mount Vernon.
This is the fourth year running on the Chevy Cruze with up to 40 miles per gallon. That car is just phenomenal. The interior is second to none. It'll blow away the competition. The Corolla can't touch it. You have your oil changes included for 2 years or 24,000 miles. OnStar. I just can't say enough about the Cruze. You really need to come in and check it out. Cruise in for the cruise.
Schmidt Chevrolet Cadillac of Mount Vernon, 3423 Broadway in Mount Vernon.
Welcome back, Saturday Sports Show, WMIX, WMIXSports.com, cared for by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital.
It's what healthcare should be.
Welcome to the program, head coach of Mount Vernon Rams baseball. He is Tim Holloway. Coach, good morning.
Good morning.
You know, last time since we talked to you here on the program, your Rams have been to Busch Stadium. They've been to Itchy Jones Stadium at SIU Carbondale, then had another game at Carbondale, and, of course, a home game with Cahokia. Busy week for the Rams, getting the win at the home of the St. Louis Cardinals, and then a tough loss against Murfreesboro, of course, at SIU, but then a nice bounce-back win against Carbondale in conference play, followed by another big win over Cahokia. And all of that, two nice fields, two nice stadiums, of course, a no-hitter from Tyler Morgan along the way, and it was a pretty productive week for Rams baseball.
Well, we had a lot of good things happen, and probably the best thing is I get to get off the yellow bus for a while, so that's nice. But we had, that Carbondale game was a big one for us. I felt like that was a postseason type game, and where, you knew second, third inning it was probably going to come down to one run or maybe two, and Brock was locked in, and our defense was really focused and made some great plays. We had a nice win there, so I feel like Carbondale's lineup's pretty good, especially 1 through 6, and to shut them out the way he did was very, very good for us. So. The stadium was great. We had a good time. Interesting, situation, the way they handled it. But, all we can do is control ourselves and worry about ourselves. And our guys did a nice job of playing the right way. And really enjoyed that. Hope that works out again. And, with prom Saturday and going to St. Louis Sunday and then back to Carbondale Monday, Tuesday, I was worried about it. A little bit of a letdown. And I feel like we may have had that Monday. It was disappointing, but we bounced back Tuesday and finished it off Wednesday.
You touched on it there, and I want to ask you, how much did your team grow up mentally this week with prom, Busch, SIU, and 2 tough conference games to go through and get 3-1 as a record?
Well, I think back to March and some of those games, and we've come a long way. And And a lot of that is just getting in there and you learn from your mistakes. And it's only lost if you don't learn from it. And those guys have figured out that at this level, if you don't come with very good focus every single day and every pitch, that things aren't going to go well for you. And it's the little things that matter. And I felt like, that Cardinal game showed us a lot. We did not play our best on Monday. There's no doubt about that. And let it get away from us. And to come back and bounce back the way we did, and I felt real good about our team. And we like this team. It's just, those things that have to be done every time you come through the gate, whether it's practice or a game. We're starting to get those done.
We turn the page a little bit now. You get through that big week. You have a few days off, probably to rest more mentally than physically with everything that went on the last few days. As we turn to the last few weeks, regional seedings are this week. And I don't know about you, but this regional that you are hosting has got to be one of the toughest to rank in recent memory for you, isn't it?
Yes, I think it is. There are a lot of similar teams. Although last week I think cleared up some things with some of the ways those games went. So to me, it's pretty clear cut. Now, how it will be ranked, I don't know, but in my opinion, it's pretty clear cut where it should be. I think that it's not always the best team, but it's who plays the best that day in the one-game postseason baseball, regional or sectional or whatever. So it's going to be who plays well, and I think anybody can come away with it. But we like the fact that we're at home and we're still improving, and we're looking forward to that.
Still improving and still at home. You also have only one big road game left. That's at Highland. 30 games into the season, obviously a lot of games left the next 2 weeks. What's it look like schedule-wise, or any talk of what games are going to be off the schedule yet?
Well, we're still 2 over, which even with the rain, we've just had some misses day-wise, and we'll have to see what happens. We still have 2 weeks to go. We may get rain in those 2 weeks, and one thing that could happen, Highland a few years ago, maybe it was 2 years ago, was over, and they had called and needed to just play one on that day, and I'm sure they would be willing to return the favor for us. I haven't checked their schedule, but they may be able to get somebody else to come that day and play after us. I don't know. So after this week, we'll be in touch with them, and we'll see how this week goes weather-wise and early next week. And, it may take care of itself, it may not, but regardless, it will work out somehow.
Well, and it seems like it always works out. The Rams the past few years have been able to get to their 35 games, and it seems like that maybe you have turned into Poor Richard or maybe you're Nostradamus, because when the rains have come, it seems like the Rams are off. I don't know how you do it, but it seems like the schedule has worked out perfectly to this point thus far.
Yeah, we've been lucky the last several years, and one thing that may help us compared to some situations is I don't like to load up a ton of double headers because, there for a while when we just started, we were getting rain every Saturday. Well, every Saturday you lose 2 games, and it wipes out your schedule. So I like to leave those open for makeup days, and if we don't get a makeup day, that's our day to really get a ton of fundamental work with our JV and our varsity together, and I think that's an important part of our program. But who knows what the right answer is? That just has worked for us. Yes, we would love to play on a nice Saturday, but as far as the schedule goes, it gives us another option so we don't lose a bunch of games.
Of course, as we get deeper into the month of May, and I know that for some of the underclassmen, they're going to have to go a little bit beyond May, quite possibly. But for your seniors, and I know there aren't as many of them, but focus can sometimes become an issue. You have a Benton team that's on a nice winning streak coming in on Monday. You have the Centralia Orphans who are looking to battle for at least a share of the conference crown on Tuesday. Again, Mater Dei at home on Friday, all of these schedule permitting, of course. Things become a little bit tougher as you go on to get ready for the postseason and trying to keep this team focused.
Well, it has always been that way, and our guys have done a good job. I think when you put a lot into it, it's hard to let up, and our seniors know this is it, and all 5 seniors have had an impact on this team, and they want to finish it out the right way. I believe that, and our young guys are doing the best they can to help them, and they've done their part. So it's all about us. I think we have a lot to play for. Those other teams may feel the same, but as far as us proving to ourselves what type of team we are, we have a lot to play for. We're at home now, we've been on the road a lot more than at home this year, which a team that, you know, at the beginning of the season would be considered young, which is not considered that anymore. So they battled, and now they get a chance to come home, and it's time to put it together and kind of make a push here.
Speaking of a push, we're going to talk to you and ask you our social media question of the week. We got an easy one again for you. We're kind of getting soft here down the stretch. But this week's question is, what is your favorite soda to drink?
Oh, that isn't easy. There's only one soda, one a day, and it comes after lunch, and that would be Mountain Dew. Got to have the Mountain Dew.
Of course. You've been hanging around Turner too long.
Hey, there's a long line of those. I spent 7 years starting out coaching with Doug Creel, and there's always a Mountain Dew around, and I'm in the office with Clint Turner and Clint McClure, and Mountain Dews just seem to always be around me, so I've given into that.
Do you ever have to...
I try to keep it to one a day.
Do you have to write your name on your Mountain Dew so Turner won't drink it?
Turner will snatch it. You have to watch him. That's why I wait till I get away from him usually. And I pop it open.
Coach, it's been a great week for Rams baseball. Hoping the great weeks continue, of course, with the Benton Rangers on Monday. Best of luck to the Rams. We'll see you Monday afternoon from BK Field.
All right, guys. Thank you.
That's Tim Holloway, head coach of the Rams, 16-13-1. Rams are 3 games above 500, looking to have a good game with the Rangers, a team they previously beat at Eovaldi Field in Benton earlier in the year, back in March. Now you have the Rangers coming in hot in May. The Central Orphans coming in looking to at least get a share of the conference crown on Tuesday, and then the Mater Dei Knights coming in on Friday. All of that schedule permitting, of course. We'll let you know should it change, whether it be by our hand or another team's. Stay up to date on Twitter at WMIX Sports. You can find us on Facebook as well. WMIX Sports social media question. What is your favorite soda to drink? We'll have our answers a little bit later on in the program. We're here until 8:50. Lady Rams softball takes over with the pregame of Mount Vernon and Civic from the Triad Invitational. We'll take a break. Saturday Sports Show cared for by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than hospital.
It's what healthcare should be.
Back after these.
A digestive problem can affect every area of your life. But now there's a specialist right here in town who focuses on digestive health. Mayo Clinic trained Dr. Tegpal Atwal has opened the only gastroenterology clinic in Mount Vernon. Dr. Atwal treats acid reflux, gallbladder problems, inflammatory bowel disease, ulcers, and more. For your appointment with Dr. Atwal at Crossroads Specialty Clinic, call 618-241-9071.
Whether it's Mother Nature's inability to decide on a season, a weekend that got a little out of hand, or just life, there's always something looking to damage your vehicle. This is Chase Landers from Landers Collision Centers. Maybe winter weather turned your full-size sedan into a compact, or a little hail has your truck looking like Swiss cheese. Perhaps a deer decided to go for a ride on your hood, or maybe your truck is missing its hitch and bumper after pulling your little brother out of the ditch last weekend. Did a bad breakup leave a little graffiti on your SUV? We hope not, but we've seen it all, and we certainly don't judge. Whatever mess life has created for your vehicle, we'll clean it up. As a direct repair facility for many insurance companies, we take care of just about everything, even getting you into a temporary vehicle while we restore yours. That's the Landers difference. Top to bottom, big or small, Landers fixes them all. Come see us in Mount Vernon and Salem and ask us about free detailing for the life of your vehicle. Or call 1-888-LANDERS. That's 1-888-LANDERS.
Raise your hand if you're tired of showing up for a service appointment only to sit around a waiting room. Hi, Roy Schmidt, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealer at King City Chrysler Center. Our express lane fast oil changes and more provide quick, convenient service with no appointment needed. Our specialists are on hand to wait on you with lanes dedicated just for your oil changes, tire rotation, brake inspections, batteries, bulbs, wiper blades, air filter replacements, and more. We will also perform complimentary vehicle inspection with every oil change. We work around your schedule, open weekdays from 7:30 until 5 and Saturdays from 8 a.m. until noon. See Express Lane Fast Oil Changes and more for all of your service needs, and we will get you back on the road quick. We're located at King City Chrysler Center at 1603 Broadway in Mount Vernon, Illinois. Just another reason you can count on us.
Welcome back, Saturday Sports Show, WMIX Mount Vernon, a free service from Withers Broadcasting here until 10 till the hours. Lady Rams softball will take over with Civic Memorial, part of the Triad Invite coverage. If they win, they keep playing, and we'll keep broadcasting the games today. So Lady Rams and you're looking at me funny. What'd I get wrong?
Is that Triad? No.
What?
Lady Rams and
Civic at Triad.
Okay. Why did I think that was somewhere else?
The game because Civic played at Civic yesterday. Some of the Friday games are split between Civic and Triad. Everything today is at Triad.
Okay.
Triad High School.
Yeah.
Okay. What's wrong?
I'm just. Yeah. Never mind.
Okay.
You're gonna have a tournament. Do it at one spot. No.
Well, I agree. I mean,
they're in the same conference. It's not like they're time zones away.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah. We're in agreement there. WMIX Sports social media question, of course, what is your favorite soda to drink?
Mount Vernon should be in that conference anyway. What?
Well, they should be in our conference.
Either way.
There we go. I saw Crow put Diet Pepsi. Mine is none, although it would be ski. But no longer a soda drinker, although I'm sure this sugar-free Red Bull is just as bad, if not worse, than a soda. DC, what's yours, Coke?
Or ski.
Coke or ski?
Yeah.
That's what I figured.
Had a mug root beer text in.
Yeah, we did.
State track meet today. I think in Salem for Class S, Carterville for L. So
he's not with us.
Maybe Spring Lake.
Oh. Probably not listening. May not even be up yet. Actually, no. I know where he is. Jeffrey Drake would by far be Diet Pepsi. Good friend of the program, voice of the Harrisburg Bulldogs.
Pictures upon pictures.
Oh yes. If you've ever seen Crow and see him go through the Diet Pepsi, as I have numerous times. He is no match for Jeffrey Drake, our man Jeffrey Drake, yes. Loves the Diet Pepsi, but it's on Facebook for you, facebook.com/WMIX Sports. Before we get to talking some of the 1A and 2A pairings now, congratulations, of course, goes to Lady Rams' Hannah Wright. She broke the single-season triples mark against the Benton Rangerettes on Thursday. She hit her 7th in the top, make that the bottom half of the first inning, so congratulations to Hannah Wright. But taking a look, we mentioned that Nashville-Freeburg-Altoff regional a little bit earlier. As we take a look at some of the pairings, I guess we could start with 1A baseball quickly, talking about some of those. The 1A Super Sectional, again, is at Rent-One Park. You have the North Clay Sectional, the Cobden Sectional, and we're going to have to move through these, I guess, pretty quick. But Woodlawn Regional feed into the Cobden Sectional. You have the Weber Trojans, no surprise, at number 1. Woodlawn is number 2, Steelville 3, NCOE 4, Galatia 5, and until somebody knocks them off, I think I know it's almost like a pin the tail. It's pin the tail on the donkey.
Steelville with Galatia and NCOE in the same regional. What part of that it makes geographic sense? I don't know. Anyway, yeah.
So the Weber probably the prohibitive favorite there, having a pretty good season to this point. Tough schedule again as always, but. I think you look at the Goreville Regional with Cobden as a 1, Goreville the 2, Trico the 3, Alvarado is a 4,
yeah.
Dongola is a 5. Actually skip past
Cobden's had a pretty good year, but Gallatin County being the 1 seed Narrow Regional, that's the team to watch in this side of the bracket. And if you go to ihsa.org, go to baseball, go to regional pairings, don't believe the directions to Goreville High School. That is not to Goreville High School.
No, that is
Hinckley Big Rock.
Yes, that is way out of your way if you go there. I noticed that the other day. You take a look now at the other side of that sectional, the North Clay sectional. Oblong Regional, Dietrich probably the favorite. They are the 1 seed. Cumberland the 2, 3 Oblong, 4 Hudsonville Palestine, and 5 Martinsville. And Dietrich heads and shoulders the favorite. However,
I know who I'm picking.
Skipping past the obvious. Skipping down to the Altamont Regional, where North Clay's the 1, South Central the 2, Altamont 3, Brownstown, St. Elmo 4, Patoka 5. It's heavily set up for the 1 seeds on that side. We're skipping that one for now. Edwards County's the 1 at home. Red Hill the 2, Sisney the 3. Good grief. Okay, Edwards County, probably Edwards County. But I think your favorite to maybe even come out of the Super Sectional is at the Windsor Regional.
Yeah.
Number 1, Windsor Stu Strauss by far. Neoga the 2, Central. But here's the thing: you get WSS and Neoga together. Anything can happen. But I really think the Comets or the Hatchets, I think maybe even what they're going by, as they used to battle for the Hatchet. Windsor Blue Devils, Stu Strauss, Comets. But probably your favorite.
Dietrich is not bad. They got a lot of young people. Made this super in basketball, obviously. Windsor's been beating everybody. I mean, it just like constant who they are taking on. I mean, when you look at the mix of teams, the short list to get out of the Super, I think Windsor's Stu Strauss is one of them. I think North Clay has to be one of them. And then obviously Gallatin County, Weber on the other side. I think those are your legit teams that have the shot to come out and do something, get out of those sectionals, and get up to East Peoria. Other than Cobden's a dark horse, I think, along with they dark horse. But other than that, I think those are your 4 or 5 that are serious contenders, is what we've read and seen so far this spring.
And, of course, there's a completely different Super at Lincoln Land that Oakville will feed into.
Yeah.
But for the Rockets, they are the 2 seed at the New Athens Regional with number 1 New Athens, who's on a bit of a roll right now.
New Athens is solid.
So I think in that one, Valmar the 3, 4 Marissa, 5 Christ-Our Rock. Also in that Super, you have the Lebanon Regional with Lebanon, Odin, Mulberry Grove, Sandoval, and Madison in that order, and Lebanon probably the prohibitive favorite there. But other than that, that's pretty well our focus on 1A. You quickly take a look, and we'll run these down again and spend more time with these and give you a more thorough analysis at the end of the regular season. But when you take a look at 2A, GCS Super Sectional, again, Harrisburg and Greenville. And this is where I get baffled. You have a Nashville Regional that feeds into Harrisburg, and then you have a Hamilton County Regional that feeds into Greenville. Why those two aren't flipped is beyond me, but it is what it is. And Greenville has Hamco, Vandalia, Robinson, and Westland. For the sake of argument today, we'll probably talk a little bit more about the Westland Regional with Carlisle, Greenville, Westland, Central, and Mater Dei. More often than not, that is a tough regional from top to bottom. I know the 2 Breeze schools struggling this year, but Carlisle, Greenville, Westland. Westland's a pretty good team that throttled Centralia last week. So, I mean, Westland is pretty good as a 3 seed in their own regional.
Greenville being a 2, that team's one to watch. I know Carlisle's had a pretty good year, but Greenville's a team to watch there. T-Town's been rolling people. St. Anthony won a state title recently. They're okay. I wouldn't say they're the greatest. So, I mean, when you look at that side, of course, the biggest thing is Hamilton County's got to go to Greenville. Carmi's played very good baseball as well. So I see Carmi as a huge favorite coming out of Hamilton County. And you look at the fact that T-Town and Carmi and a Carlisle or maybe a Greenville in the section, it's a pretty tough test there. And like you said, why Nashville's regional is not over on the other side, I have no idea, but because Hamilton County's nowhere near Greenville. So Carmi whoever wins that regional, more likely Carmi, will have to drive all the way to Greenville for a baseball game.
Well, and then on the other side, in that aforementioned Harrisburg sectional, you have the Nashville regional. We talked about it. Nashville, Freeburg, Altoff, Jabot, and Dupo.
Jabot won state last year.
Oh, my goodness.
Right, it's geography. There's nothing you can do.
Oh, that's a tough regional.
To be the man, you got to beat the man.
That's true. Of course, then you look at the Benton Regional, which has a number 1 Redbirds of West Frankfort, Benton a 2, ZRC 3, Johnston City's a 4, Waltonville Sesterville Baseball is a 5, and
Benton is split with Frankfort.
I was going to say all signs point to a Benton Frankfort.
ZRC is up and down. Frankfort's up and down. I mean, it could be any of the top. I think it's top 3. I don't think anybody else has a chance in that one. But, I mean, I think it's down to – if Frankfort is up to the hype, they should win the regional. But Brett Blondie's team has been playing much better baseball in Frankfort lately. I would not be shocked if Benton comes out of that.
Well, of course, we'll talk more about these a little bit later on in the season. Not going to have time to touch on 1A and 2A softball pairings today. We'll talk about those at a later time as well. You're looking at the Chester Regional and 2A baseball. Chester the 1, DuQuoin the 2, Pinckneyville the 3, 4, Sparta 5, Redbud. Chester's had a pretty good season in the Black Diamond Conference this year. DuQuoin has been up and down at times. We saw the Rams beat them earlier in the year at DuQuoin. They've gotten a little bit better since then, but they have actually lost a game yesterday due to the weather.
Chester has played really well. Very darn good team. I just wonder if DuQuoin lays in the weeds. I know they've played. I just wonder if DuQuoin lays in the weeds with their pitching and would be able to pull off some kind of upset, but they would have to do it at Chester, which is a difficult place to play.
It is. Carterville Regional and Harrisburg, for all their ups and downs, kind of the to be the man, you've got to beat the man motif, and the Bulldogs will be the number 1 at Carterville. Murphy's come on strong at number 2. AJ's the 3, and to be honest, when the season started, I thought AJ would be the for sure number 1. I think we all sort of thought that. Massac the 4, Carterville the 5, which surprises me a little, but they're younger. Their time's coming. They're going to have more kids infused into the program as they start to go up the enrollment classification system. But Vienna the 6, and I don't know. I really like, from what we saw the other day, Daryl Murphy, who did the pitching, not the basketball coach, but his son. I really like what Murfreesboro has to offer right now.
Harrisburg, to me, is a shock because they've been so up and down this year. Not the Harrisburg teams in the last 4 or 5 years relying on what they have. Their average is good for everybody else. That's how I would term it. Murfreesboro, to me, is a team that's turning the corner after struggling early. They're starting to find their sea legs a little bit. And in this regional, in the last 4 or 5 years, just about the time you think you know the answer, somebody pulls an upset. And that's the way it's always been down here, whether it's Carterville, Harrisburg, Murphy. Anna's had a run out of this thing. And very good baseball, very good teams. I think Murfreesboro, to me, would be the favorite right now.
Sure. And we'll talk more about all of these at a later date as well here on the Saturday Sports Show. But if you're looking at Sauget Super Sectional, I think you're probably looking at T-Town maybe coming out of Greenville as a favorite for right now. And then probably, as of now, the winner of the Nashville Regional meeting them on Monday, June the 2nd, quite possibly at Sauget. Probably
pretty tough. Pretty good game. I mean,
that would be.
Depending on chances and who gets in, who gets out of different places, the super sectional days are going to be very difficult to go find how you can get to all these places. Just depends on who goes.
It is, and it all just hit me as far as how
print
this
media.
went.
I feel sorry for y'all having to try to cover all these title games with teams in it because it's an impossible job to do it with track, baseball, and softball going on all the same dates.
It is. Of course, we need to take a break here on the Saturday Sports. We'll talk more about all this again probably next week when we have a little bit more time. We're here until 8:50. We'll talk with Clint Turner about running Rams track and field after the break. It's cared for by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital.
It's what healthcare should be.
Talk softball again as well a little bit later on. But we'll have plenty of softball coming at you today. Lady Rams will take over at 50 past the hour. We're back after these.
Mount Vernon is home to many wonderful people and things, and that includes quality cardiac care from Dr. Ruzaik Ibrahim. A skilled cardiologist, Dr. Ibrahim's training and scientific accomplishments have earned his designation as a Fellow of the American College of Cardiology. His services range from preventative care to the treatment of advanced heart conditions. For an appointment with Dr. Ibrahim at Crossroads Specialty Clinic, call 241-9071 or visit in person at 4113 South Water Tower, Mount Vernon.
Registration for fall classes at Rend Lake College is going on now. With more than 100 degree and certificate programs, RLC can put you on the fast track to a new career or to continue your education. More affordable than four-year universities and private schools, you can save thousands of dollars at RLC. Our trained academic counselors will make sure you're on the right path, whether you plan to transfer to a four-year university or head straight into the workforce. Walk-in registration continues through August 15th. Call us at 437-5321 or find us online at rlc.edu. Rend Lake College, your journey starts here.
You need a great quality new-to-you vehicle. There's a reason why Second Chance Auto has been helping put families into affordable, dependable vehicles for over 34 years. Honest, fair deals. Ain't nothing fancy, just great vehicles with warranties and bank rate financing for all. That's the only way Second Chance Auto will do business. They're receiving new vehicles every day. So be sure to stop by and find out how you can save thousands on the total cost of your vehicle. Helping people get in a great, dependable vehicle for over 34 years. Second Chance Auto, Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. Call 244-4582.
Welcome back, Saturday Sports Show, WMIX, WMIXSports.com. Clint Turner, of course, trying to catch up with him. Running Rams did win the Ram Relays this week. They're on off to another hot start. Maybe we try to catch up with Clint Turner next week when we have a full program. But given the situation, of course, we're only here until 8:50. We'll see what we have going. But Lady Rams will take over right at 50, or thereabouts. They have the Civic Memorial Lady Eagles today in a Triad Invitational at Triad. They are on diamond number 4 this morning. So never mind. They played some games at Civic yesterday. They played some games at Triad. It's a nice little tournament, very competitive, and a pretty good one to be in. So we do get to talk some softball postseason pairings today after all. Again, we'll try to work in Clint Turner again next week because we love talking running Rams track and field. But the Ram Relays and their successes at that prestigious invitational will be in the back of our minds then as well when we try to catch up with Clint Turner. 1A softball, of course, down in Southern Illinois. They will play at the DuQuoin Super Sectional. Well, yes, a 2A school, but DuQuoin's a school that will host anything they can to get all of the big matchups. And for DQ to put that impressive facility to use for a 1A Super is impressive in itself. You have the Cobden Sectional, you have the Oakville Sectional. in that particular event. Probably most of our teams are in the Wayne City Regional, which feeds into the Oakville Sectional. At Wayne City, you have the number 1 Lady Indians, last year's regional champ. Woodlawn the 2, Odin the 3. South Central's the 4, Weber is the 5 in that regional, and Wayne City again has, I believe, beaten all the teams they have faced in that regional as they are the Midland Trail Conference championship again. So until somebody proves otherwise, the Wayne City Lady Indians the prohibitive favorite at home.
Have to be, and they've, had some experience. Of course, Woodlawn's got a group that some of their players have played in the sectional final before, so it'll come down to Wayne City Woodlawn in that regional, no doubt, when that one goes on.
Well, and then we have the Marissa Regional with number 1 New Athens, number 2 Oakville, 3 Marissa, 4 Valmeyer, 5 Crystar Rock, and New Athens playing pretty good softball right now as well. I know they just got knocked off the other day after a winning streak, I think, by Marissa, but New Athens playing pretty good right now.
Yeah, Oakville might give them a run, but I think New Athens, pretty good streak they're on right now. Both the baseball and softball teams, New Athens could really do something special over the next few weeks.
Lebanon, Fenceless Lebanon, hosting a regional this year. Number 1 Mount Olive, number 2 Bunker Hill, 3 is Mulberry Grove, 4 is Metro East Lutheran, and 5 is Lebanon in that regional. Lebanon, of course, some stronger teams earlier in this millennium, but I think Mount Olive, again, I'm going to admit defeat here. Mulberry Grove, a sectional champ a few years back, but probably Bunker Hill, Mount Olive if you're going to let the seeds play out.
Right. Now, Lebanon's hosted regionals before. That's a good softball program, except for this year, but they've been very good. But I, like you, Mount Olive has played some very good softball this spring, and I think Bunker Hill might have something to say about it when it comes down to the end.
Edwards County Regional also in this Oakville sectional. Edwards County have the number 1 Lady Lions. Pretty good softball program, up and down at times, mostly known for volleyball, but Edwards County has put together some softball runs as well. West Richland the 2, Sisney the 3, Grayville the 4. Edwards County probably the prohibitive favorite.
That rarity, 4 teams in a regional, you don't see that very often anymore, but Edwards County, far and away the best team in that regional.
Then you run into the Cobden sectional on the other side. At Alvarado Regional, you have number 1 Trico, number 2 Alvarado, 3 Steelville, 4 Cobden, 5 Shawnee, and Trico's played pretty well this season. Alvarado's bumped off a few teams in the diamond along the way, and I would not be surprised if Alvarado is a 2, maybe upsets Trico the 1.
Possibly. Trico and Alvarado's went back and forth and different things this year, and that's a good regional final. I mean, Alvarado's made a deep run postseason recently. Trico's done a deep run, so 2 very good teams. Of course, Cobden was a 3-time state champ when they came out in 1A and 4 class, so a lot of hardware in this regional as far as past softball success is concerned.
Well, yeah, the Glacier Regional as well. You have Glacier Thompsonville as the 1 seed, Crab Orchard the 2, NCO East 3, Gallatin County 4, CM Carrier Mills is the 5 in that one. So, it is what it is. Dongola's Regional has Century as the 1, Dongola the 2, Egyptian the 3, Meridian the 4, and Cairo the 5. And
Dongola usually wins this. And they've had some pretty good softball over the years. Century snuck in. I think they got a win early in the year over Dongola. But Dongola is one you got to watch because they are usually the one that comes out of that regional.
Well, Pope County, you have number 1 Goreville and number 2 Pope County, number 3 Hardin, number 4 Joppa Maple Grove. Goreville the favorite in this one. I know and they're not the Goreville of old.
And Goreville got shelled by Carmi the other day. So I mean that's kind of a in the right place, wrong time as far as. Being where Goreville can do something there. Nothing against Goreville, but they're down compared to what they have been in the past.
They are, and then you take a look also in Class 2A, looking at some of those. Gosh darn, come on, iPad. When you take a look at some of the games that they're going to have in the postseason in IHSA Class 2A softball, it gets kind of interesting as you look at the Johnston City Super. That'll also be on Monday, June the 2nd. But you look at the JC Sectional, Johnson City hosting both the sectional and the Super Sectional. The Redbud Regional has number 1 Nashville in it, number 2 Jabot.
Yeah.
Hard to look past that with number 3 Freeburg, number 4 Chester, number 5 Redbud, 6 Sparta. Nashville and Jabot, obviously your odds-on favorites in that one. I think if you're Nashville, you're happy to be separate from Pinckneyville, DuQuoin, and the like as well. As we talk about Pinckneyville and DuQuoin, they are the 1 and the 2 at ZRC. With number 3 West Frankfort. Interesting to see how this regional is going to work out now. They're going to have to change this regional, the ZRC regional, because Waltonville Chesterfield no longer has a team. They were the 6th seed in that, but no team any longer at Waltonville Session So you have a 1 Pinckneyville, 2 DuQuoin. Really, it would seem like DuQuoin would just get the number 3 seed now, with 4 and 5 playing number 1. It just becomes your typical.
I'm not sure.
But they may have to.
I'm not sure. I think they have to reseed. I think they'll have to go through the process again when that goes on and reseed things. I don't think it's. I think if you do it the other way, I think it's just easy for Frankfurt. They get a bye, but it wouldn't be fair for a 3 team to get a bye. So with it being now a 5-team regional, then DuQuoin probably does not get a bye. They would have to play a game.
If they don't reseed, I think they would just play 2-3. Call it a day with 4 or 5 getting 1 as a 5-team regional would be, since they were seeded 6th anyway. But we'll see if they reseed that regional with Waltonville Session no longer having a team. Harrisburg Regional, of course, it'll be number 1 Carmi-White County versus number 2 Harrisburg, and what might be a regional that gets you your money's worth down there at the Harrisburg Regional. Harrisburg's been up and down after a hot start. They have beaten Massac once, but that'll be an interesting regional. Hamco the 3, JC the 4, El Dorado the 5.
Carmi's the prohibitive favorite. Very good year. Harrisburg is oncoming strong. That's one there. You pick Carmi, but you got to keep your eye on Harrisburg as well.
AJ Regional, number 1 Carterville, number 2 Massac, number 3 Murphy, number 4 AJ, number 5 Vienna makes things interesting.
Massac, Carterville. Massac already owns a win over Carterville this year, and Carterville actually beat them too. So, I mean, it's a split, and it's Massac who got to a sectional final last year and beat Nashville. Or lost to Nashville, and Nashville went to state. So I mean that's a tough little regional too, because Carterville and Massac those are 2 teams that could go very deep in the postseason as well.
Well, they could, and quickly on the other side of that JC Super at the St. Anthony sectional, the Shelbyville Regional has number 1 Shelbyville, number 2 Arthur Lovington, 3 Sullivan, 4 St. Anthony, 5 Payne. Shelby, the Lady Rams are having a great season. Probably the easy favorite. I look at all of these. You see Lawrenceville Regional. Yes, it has Fairfield, Flora, Lawrenceville, Newton, Mount Carmel in that order. Vandalia has Greenville, Central, Carlisle, Westglen, and Vandalia in that order. I see the number 1 T-Town Lady Shoes at the KZ Westfield Regional. KZ did beat them this week.
Yeah.
They are the 3 seed against number 2 Marshall. I see that as being a very good regional. But the T-Town Lady Shoes, if they get out of there and you let them loose after that one hiccup on the season, I think are the team to beat on that other side, and maybe the team to beat to get out of the JC Super.
I don't know about getting out of JC Super, but, you know.
Well, you do
Nashville, Massac, Carterville
has something to
say. But T-Town will be the favorite if they can get by Casey at Casey.
Formidable, no doubt. Appreciate all of our guests this morning here on the Saturday Sports Show. Don't forget our social media question is on Facebook, facebook.com/WMIX Sports. We thank you for taking the time to join us today. What is your favorite soda? We want to know. Find it posted on Facebook for us. Follow us on Twitter in the meantime at WMIX Sports. Lady Rams will have Civic Memorial coming up. We'll have your Landers Collision Center's pregame here in just a moment, of course. But before we let you go today, we will talk more about these softball postseason pairings, of course, coming up in the coming weeks. 3A, 4A will be released this week. More Mount Vernon Rams baseball coming your way Monday. They'll have the Benton Rangers 4:15 pregame, 4:30 first pitch, so you still have that to look forward to. You can find our full broadcast schedule at WMIXsports.com. So we'll have all of that coming up and more. For Danny Zerwinski, for Jeff Crow, I'm Chris Hugo. We'll try to catch up with Clint Turner again next week. We're sorry we missed him today. Landers Collision Center's pregame show is next.